Hi, I'm Martin Lindsay from the Studying Learning Centre at RMIT University. This is a short movie on multiplying decimals. Let's start by multiplying decimals by 10, 100 and 1000. So let's start with the decimal 5.2 times 10. When we multiply by 10, notice that we have one zero. And when you multiply by 10, you simply move the decimal point one place to the right. In other words, 5.2 times 10 becomes 52.0, or just 52. In other words, the rule is move the decimal point one place to the right for each zero. Another one, 62.7 times 100. Notice two zeros, so we simply move the decimal point two places to the right. So this answer becomes 6270. Finally, let's move 3.14 times 1000. Here we've moved the decimal point three places to the right because we have three zeros. 1000 has got three zeros. So the answer is 3140. Now let's look at a multiplication which does not involve multiplying by 10, 100 or 1000. We have 8.5 times 4. First of all, set it out as shown with the 4 underneath the 5 on the right hand side. Notice also that there is no decimal point in this multiplication. We'll come back to that in a moment. So we start by multiplying the right hand column. 4 times 5 is 20. 0 under the 4, carry the 2, which I've placed in red above the 8. Now I say 4 times 8 is 32, and now I add the 2 to the 32 to give us 34. So we now have an answer with 3, 4 and 0. Now we have to decide where to place the decimal point. And what you do now is to go up to the question again and count up how many numbers there are after the decimal point. Here we have one number, the 5, which is after the decimal point. There are no numbers after the 4. In other words, we have one decimal place. So what we do is we move back from the right hand side one decimal place also. So the decimal point is now between the 4 and the 0. So our answer is 34.0. Now let's look at a slightly more complicated multiplication. 4.9 times 2.8. First of all, set it out as shown. Note again there are no decimal points. 49 times 28. First of all, we start on the right hand side by multiplying 8 times 9, which is 72. Carry the 7 shown in red at the top. Multiply 8 times 4, which is 32, add the 7 and we get 39. So our first row is 392. Move on to the next row. Here we're multiplying by 2. So first of all we place a 0 in the right hand column. Now we multiply 2 by 9, which is 18. Carry the 1 shown at the top. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now we have our second row, 980. All we need to do now is to add up the two rows. 2 and 0 is 2, 9 and 8 is 17, carry 1, 9 and 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Finally, we decide where to place the decimal point. Remember the rule. How many decimal places are there in the question? There are 2. There's a 9 and there's an 8. So there are 2 decimal places, which mean that we must move the decimal point back 2 places from the right hand side. In other words, the answer to this question is 13.72. Now try some questions for yourself. The answers to these questions are on the next slide. Thank you for watching this short movie.